There's a few more seats over there if you guys run out to see.
All right, so we'll turn this on just in
All right.
case we need it, but
Just let them sit. Yeah, be casual.
yeah. All right, so Josh's Hoarder Corner is the name of my YouTube channel. I used to do a lot of unboxings and things of that nature, but I'm trying to veer away from that and do some
This is
things
an
a little
unboxing.
different. I'm unboxing something amazing today. I'm unboxing you guys, your hearts and souls, and the project you're working on, One Dark Night.
Correct.
So we're streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook. We have our guests out here. Thank you so much for stopping in. We're going to be talking about One Dark Night. And as an introduction that I will give you, and then I'm going to let the experts talk about it, think Trans-Siberian Orchestra, right? It's exciting, it's electric, there's so much going on, but it's Christmas. I'm not a huge Christmas guy. Like, we have the Christmas tree, it's a black Christmas tree, and it's cool, but I'm a Halloween guy. Like, Halloween through and through. We're at a horror convention, we're at Ohio TerrorCon, so I think most people here are going to be horror people. So what can you tell me about One Dark Night?
It is a gathering, a rock and roll concert, a visual experience. It is a massive rock show that has visuals. We've got a 30 to 40 foot video screen behind us that we've acquired almost $250,000 in video assets that have been designed all from horror movies and horror images. We take songs like Enter Sandman, Don't Fear the Reaper, Zombie. If you think of, we sat there and just wrote down, what's every song title that ties into Halloween? Because like you, I live in a black house, I drive a black car, and I'm wearing black clothes.
Yep.
I wanted to do, Tony wanted to do, Neil, who is actually the creator of this, Neil Zaza, who's local here, wanted to take what we've seen, these big holiday shows, and celebrate Halloween. Halloween is actually the second largest holiday next to Christmas. It's a $12.8 billion business.
Wow.
And it's an adult holiday.
Absolutely.
I mean, as much as the little kids go pick up the candy and they go home and eat their candy, but you know, rock and roll, Halloween, just go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just meant to be, you know. And where Christmas is very cool and what Trans-Siberian does is amazing, but this is just a little more harder edge. Hang out with your family, hang out with your friends, have a blast, and go see rock and roll show. And literally everything from Van Halen to Metallica to the Beatles to Black Sabbath. I mean, it's all in the show with dancers, with amazing light features. Obviously the screen, which is breathtaking, and it's just a really fun night to go out. And it's headed up by Neil Zaza, who, for those of you who know Cleveland, he is probably the greatest guitarist to ever come out of Cleveland, Ohio area. He's played with everybody from Steve Vai to Stu Hamm to, Joe Satriani, and he played literally in
Michael
China
Stanley Band
right now, flying home tomorrow night from playing China and all.
Damn.
Yeah, you get us instead of
Yeah, he's an instrumental genius.
But okay, so not unfortunately, I'm very glad you're here. We jumped right into talking about the show. Tell us about you guys. Introduce yourselves. Let's hear your stories. How did you come up with this idea?
Wait 1 second before we have Tony start. Remember, you can go to onedarknightonline.com and check out the website while Tony tells you where he came from.
I'll do the short version. I was born and raised in Cleveland, grew up at the West Side Market, went to culinary school for a little bit. I thought I wanted to be a chef. Ended up getting out of that and went into Akron U, met Neil Zaza there, spent the next 8 years on a tour bus with him, traveling across the country with Winger, with Warren, with Danger, Bad English, playing around with those guys. And realized when Kurt Cobain came and changed everything, our hair rock wasn't going to make it anymore. At that point, this guy exited and went to Nashville. So I was out and I was abandoned and moved to LA, moved back. And
I want to move back, Cleveland. I really I
I
Zillow
wanted-
every day.
So I grew up in West Side Market, so I ended up starting a wholesale food company. I was saying I wanted to be a producer. Now I'm a producer. Now I'm at the tail end of my career doing that. I have a fabulous company with fabulous people working for me. Gives me the availability to get back with my buddies and do this really cool show. Neil came up with the idea multiple years ago, and it was smaller, a little bit bigger, and then me and him kind of got involved last year, and then it got a little bit bigger. Now he really grabbed the steering wheel, and now it's got a lot bigger, and it's going to get a lot bigger than this.
And even just like the promo clips, what I've seen on the socials, on Instagram, One Dark Night has phenomenal footage of what you've done in the past couple of years.
And that's a real show. So
Right.
know that what you're seeing online is last year's sold out show at the MGM.
Live show, the footage is out there from MGM. You got to check it out. It's on their socials. Tell us about you.
Me, I grew up playing in bands here in Cleveland. Played with Moonlight Drive and Trent Reznor back in the days, and the Slut Puppies, and played one gig with Boku with Dennis and Frank Amato and them. But I started as a musician and slowly figured out I was better at talking than I was at drumming. Started talking more, started booking my bands. And while I was here, I was playing in one band, booking 10, managing 3. So I kind of figured out this groove, and I got a country band from Cleveland a record deal
Nice.
in 31 years ago. A band that used to play Brook Park Road called Pony Express got them a deal. So I relocated to Nashville with them, and then that didn't happen, which we're in a 90% failure business. Not fair. They were awesome. They got their butt sued off by a bad old manager, and I was left with no job. So I got a job convincing radio stations to play music. So I have worked with Alabama, Clint Black, Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, currently signed
Amazing.
Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is actually my first signing from being a record executive that they let me sign an act. So I chased Jelly for a year because he hated labels and hated suits. He refers to me as Meatball.
Affectionately.
He called me one day after trying to get him to come to our label, and after him meeting with our presidents, he's like, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to sign. I trust you. I was like, cool.
From what I've heard,
I was
he's
like,
not someone that he doesn't trust people easy. So that's a huge accomplishment.
It took a very long time. He torture tested me. It was like I was like pledging a fraternity for him and his family of players to get in. But when he said to me, I'm going to sign with you guys, I said, cool. If we're going to do business, do I call you Jelly Roll? And he goes, my mama calls me Jelly Roll. I said, good enough. He said, I need a snappy name. And like an idiot, I said, Meatball, thinking that would just be a laughing end. But no, if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, he thanks Meatball, not me by name. If you Rolling Stone, the Joe Rogan, everywhere that I wish somebody would have said, Adrian Michaels, I'm Meatball. So if you ever get confused and hear Adrian didn't do this, it was Meatball. I am affectionately known as Adrian Meatball Michaels now.
He was crying when the first time he played the Grand Ole Opry. And there's this video scene, I think it's on one of the socials. He's like, come here, Meatball, Meatball. And I'm like, there's Adrian.
And it's crazy because the Grand Ole Opry has been having a lot of artists play there that are a big transition, a big jump from what they would be expecting. Yeah, Post Malone just played there. It's insane.
Morgan Wallen's kind of doing what he's doing. Hardy is making some really edgy stuff. I mean, Jelly Roll is the furthest thing from what you thought would be a country act. But so I live and breathe. I've worked on over 150 number ones, travel with most of the bands that I've mentioned. So I learned a lot moving from that. I went to Valley Forge High School here in Parma Heights, graduated Cuyahoga Community College, went to Bowling Green. So like truly from Northern Ohio, learned my trade in Nashville, and then came back hanging with friends. And Neil started to tinker with his idea and was building it. And I kept calling with Tony, do you realize Trans-Siberian Orchestra makes $58 million in the month of December? And he'd be like, tell me more. And then we did all the study, and we're like, man, we could take Neil's idea. So I've got Jelly Roll's part of his management team is managing CAA, the booking agency is involved. So we've assembled as top tier as you can have
Yeah.
to put on a show. And it took TSO 20 years to go from their first show, which was in Cleveland, to what you see now in arenas. We're hoping to get One Dark Night to an arena in the next 4 years, starting with our show at the Agora, October 18th.
So how many musicians are involved in this?
Hmm.
Are you still drumming?
10? No, God, no.
And you're lead guitar.
No, Neil Saza. No,
we're
I'm lead,
suits.
I'm lead spaghetti.
All right, perfect.
Meatball, spaghetti.
Awesome.
We do marketing, business. No, the creative force is Neil and his team. I mean, they've got real musicians that really tour and do this. There's about 10 people that put dance routines together. There's haunters. There's a full-time choreographer. The video content. Video is probably half of the show, to be honest. Like that massive 40-foot wall with horror movies and stuff playing is all tied in. Neil does this amazing job of putting all that in one big pot. And there is nobody touring at this level serving the horror, haunt, and Halloween community.
Right.
Like we're it at this level. I'm sure there's people doing things, but I've taken a second mortgage on the house to put the
Your
stage
heart's in it. Your heart is there.
We are,
Tony-
I'm
Tony
selling as many
did his whole
tomatoes
house
as I
before
can. Selling as many tomatoes as I possibly can. But I can't tell you about the project. I've watched it before. Adrian was in Nashville and Neil did it first time, I think, in Akron.
Yep.
And it was really cool. Did a great job. Like, wow, dude, you really got something. This is cool. And Neil's done a bunch of Christmas shows. He's done a ton of different fun stuff. But, he's so talented, and his ability to play guitar, like literally a freak show, how good he is. When he put it to the Halloween thing, it was like, that's it. So
Absolutely.
seeing it in Akron, and then the following year, they all came and stayed with me in California for a week, and we're all out there. We're all talking about it. When our gears are turning. Next thing you know, Halloween, and we're all on the computer. Like, we could do this. We could do this.
Yeah.
Then we did a Youngstown. Really nice thing. We're very not as busy, but very well received. Now last year we pump it into MGM, sell it out, no problem, and we're like, we really got something there. So
Absolutely.
this year it's Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Chicago. Next year, I think
hopefully 20, 30 shows. If we can get these 4 to rock, but it all starts here. I mean, this is literally Cleveland based, Cleveland grown, Cleveland created. And I always felt like Cleveland is very proud of, like what's from here. So
Absolutely.
this is the bunker. This is home base. And we are going to put on an amazing show on October 18th.
October 18th.
And the prices on the tickets we purposely made them very reasonable. They're under $40. I mean, it's like going to get a pizza.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tony laughed yesterday. We were looking at ticket pricing. He's like, you can't buy a pizza for $38 if you get it delivered from over. Like, okay, well then we're delivering the right thing. It's a
Ticket
hardworking
prices are-
blue collar town that loves Halloween, that loves horror, and they love rock and roll here. So
Absolutely.
we put all that in one big pot. And
Yeah.
hope people are going to like it.
Yeah, and what's not to love? I mean, with just the visuals that are out there already, the teasers from the previous years, and I know
Where would they see the visuals?
they would only see them at Instagram, Facebook, One Dark Night, or onedarknightonline.com.
You're so
There
good.
you go. Nailed it. So these videos that are out there, the social posting and all of that, like it's just creating this element of like, you're getting into something dangerous. There's something crazy that you're walking into, but I'm sure it's a different choreography and stuff than what was done last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's completely different. It started with Neil playing with the Akron Symphony.
Oh,
Then
wow.
it went Akron Symphony, and then they added the ballet from down there. So it was very highbrow, much more classical. And as we started to dial this in, we kept going more Cleveland. Like we're like, nah, man, let's go. Think Alice Cooper. Think Rob Zombie. Think like that. It's much darker. It's if you've seen a show before, unless you saw last year's show, is pretty on point. This year is last year's show, but bigger.
Okay.
But yeah, there's probably a lot of people that have Neil's been playing here for 30 years that may have seen something they think this is, but you've never seen this new level. Now that we've gotten real agents and real funding and real production folks,
Well,
I promise you,
it's
you'll see
evolved.
nothing like it. It will be the biggest Halloween horror gathering party concert the town has seen.
And like I said, it's evolved. I mean, like, it's evolved from an idea to a concept to an idea to, I mean, it just kept on. Now we're at the stage, it's like, oh, we really got something.
Yeah.
And now we sat after last year, whatever the date was, the next day, we all got together for breakfast. We sat around and go, what will we do different? And then this is what we're doing next year. And then it's only going to get better and better. So, Adrian was the manager of Zaza. That's when I first met him. And I used to literally I was going to Akron U, and I would say it was a fun 6 weeks. But I went to Akron U, and that's where I met Neil. I used to get $5 to carry all the equipment in, $5 to carry all the equipment out, and $5 to drive the bus. So I used to make $15 a night. Adrian was their manager, and he's like, do you realize
I
how
made
hard
$10.
He's like, Tony is here for like 7 hours. He does all the labor, and he can't buy 4 beers. And so he had a great phrase back then, 1988, was catch us while we're cheap. And
I love it.
and it's exactly what this is. It's like, oh, you guys want to get in at the ground level.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's going to be exorbitant, but I mean, it's only going to get better. And the people that come see it now, I mean, listen, Cleveland Agora sells out of 2,000 seats. We sold out last year 2,000 seats at MGM in Northfield. We're not going to have a problem selling out Cleveland.
Right.
So get them early, get them while you can, because we can't make the theater any bigger.
And we were talking a little bit ago, the Cleveland Agora is the perfect place for this show because it already has like a spooky element to it, right?
Absolutely.
There's already talks of like, is it haunted? Is it not haunted? Bands have had weird stories that come from the Agora. So bringing that stage show there is perfect.
Oh, we're excited. Like in Detroit, we're playing their Masonic Temple. Same thing.
That place is amazing.
It looks
beautiful.
spooky as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. When I say beautiful, that's what I mean. Spooky as shit.
Spooky as shit. Yeah.
With the stage show, with the stage design, how do you come up with the stage design?
We did it. We hired Alice Cooper's stage and lighting designer.
No shit.
Yeah, the gentleman's name is Chris Lyle. He develops the stage for Lollapalooza,
Oh, wow.
for Bonnaroo. He does Jason Aldean's stadium tour, Miranda Lambert's stadium tour. He's been Alice Cooper's guy forever. The first time he called us, he's like, Alice Cooper says you can use his set from last year. And they sent us these pictures, and it's this giant 3-level castle looking thing. We're like, oh yeah, we're so in. Yeah. He goes,
We're not worthy.
Wait.
We're not worthy.
And then they're like, he pays $5,000 a month for it to sit in his warehouse, but he's on a new set. It's just sitting there. So if you just pay the $5,000 for the month, we're like, $5,000 we get a Alice Cooper set. Absolutely. And then they're like, oh yeah, you have to ship it from the LA warehouse. We're like, oh, that can't be much. We're like, okay, that added up.
That's
Okay.
10 grand.
And then they were like, oh yeah. And then we have a union carpenter that it can't be assembled without him. And we tack that on, and then you got to send it back. And we're like, I think our friends in Cleveland will have to build us a stage. So we did not come up with the concept. Literally, Chris Lyle, who's probably one of the best in the business, designed what you see if you go online and see. And we're very, very lucky. He's helping us because he said he can envision when this gets to an arena level, he wants the giant transformers and fire. He goes, this is my dream. He goes, you guys keep plugging away because I'm going to make the biggest show you've ever seen when we can get to an arena level.
And that's why it's important, like he said, man, catch it now. Control on ticket prices isn't something that is easy to obtain. Like,
And the artists, we have, I mean, on this side, we have no control.
Exactly. So
come out this year, help me lose money. Because the only way to make a big show is make a big show. I mean, the show will be the biggest production going into that room for the whole year.
And there's going to be merch, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah,
Shirts,
absolutely.
merch booth. So don't help him lose money. Take advantage of the cheaper ticket and spend that extra money at the merch booth. Leave with a t-shirt.
And we want it to be, like we said, a gathering. We're not just doing a concert. We want people that love horror, that love the holiday. We don't want to just paint ourselves into like we're Halloween only. It happens to be a great place for us to start, but it's a horror-based show. I mean, we can go do this show in July somewhere, but we want people to come dressed. We want you to have people don't go dressed for Christmas.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can dress for Halloween.
Right.
Trust me. I mean, we're going to have the coolest gathering concert that the town's
Rock
ever
and
seen.
roll fans.
Yeah.
In the home of rock and roll.
So it sounds like I want to buy a ticket.
Right.
I'll buy you one.
And I got I have the link down here, onedarknightonline.com, so everybody who's watching out there can see it. onedarknightonline.com, so everybody out here can see it as well or hear it.
People in the back, can you write that down?
And we are live at Ohio TerraCon. It is the first Ohio TerraCon, not the last. We'll be back next year, I'm sure. I don't know dates or anything yet. Not that important.
We are members
Yes.
of the
It's very cool.
Cleveland Horror Club and Terracom, and we've got you guys on our website for being amazing sponsors of the event. So thank you. Yeah.
No, hey, I couldn't be happier that you guys are here. What else do you want to say about the show, about your lives, about anything at all, man? This is open forum.
We're proud of the show.
You
We're
should be.
extremely proud of the
Yeah,
show.
I mean, here we are in our back 18, the back 9, and you know, Adrian truly has had so much success in the industry. I mean, he really is a hometown boy who's done amazing. And
I wouldn't say that about myself.
man, I'm just saying, I mean, when you look at the group of artists that he has dealt with and where he's been with them, you know, like I said, I've been selling tomatoes for the last 20 plus years. And I was joking around. I'm like, I don't know what's worse, dealing with celebrity chefs or dealing with rock stars. They're both kind of the same, you know. They're both artists. But you know, when a guy at his level decided that, you know what, this is really something. It's not just the love that we have for Neil from being friends with him for 30 plus years. It's that he's so good. The project is so good. This is one night you could bring out a bunch of friends and really have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like truly like going to a cool rock concert. You go, dude, that was fun, man. What a great. We went to dinner. We saw this. We saw so and so there. It's a gathering, and it's going to be a fun event. We're looking forward.
People don't remember. I'm trying to remember. It's in Maya Angelou quote, I believe, of like, people don't remember what you said. People don't remember what you did, but everybody remembers how you made them feel. And it's about, you'll never see a show like this. There is nothing traveling on tour that is a combination of rock and roll and horror and production and the whole video presence. It's a multi-sensory experience. There's nothing else like it. And you're going to leave, if you love Halloween and horror, you're going to love this show.
And then next year, we're bringing back pyro.
Yes. I was going to ask.
I want to blow something up.
They won't let us. It's cryo inside the Agora at the moment, but yeah.
I was wondering about fire. I was wondering about fire.
I can work on it.
I'm having a hard time digesting. Like whatever it was going to cause for the fire marshal and stuff.
You're friends with the Kiss guys.
Yeah, I mean, we went to go hang out with Doc McGee. Forget, like, when you see Kiss and the Jelly show, Jelly burns down a small village, right? And I watched Jelly go from not having those things. Like, to me, when we're able to finally put some fire, you can buy tickets for this year. We'll sell you next year's ticket where we have fire.
There you go. There you go.
This year, you guys bring the fire.
And that's what we plan on doing. October 18th
at
the Cleveland Agora. What are the other dates for the other shows?
17th, we're in Pittsburgh. 18th, Cleveland. 19th, Detroit. And 20th, we'll be in Chicago.
I can't imagine the logistics on that.
It's gonna be
Back to
tricky.
back.
I did. I tried to figure out, all right, we finish at 10 or 11. It takes 4 hours to break down the screen and stuff. It takes 2 or 3 hours to go somewhere. And then they got to get, I was like, I don't think we sleep. We can't afford 2 staff.
No, there
It's
is no
4
sleep
days.
happening.
Suck it up.
It's like you get those little hammocks you hang in the truck and everybody loads it in and they sleep for 3 hours. We'll shake them and then we'll build it and do it again. And I bet we sleep like babies on day 5.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You'll be sleeping for probably a week straight after all this.
Absolutely.
A lot of energy.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much for stopping
And
by.
we'll see you on the 18th.
I will
Yeah.
100% be there. I don't plan on missing it for the world. We're going to be.
Do me a favor. You bring about 6 friends.
I'll do my best. I'll bring as many friends as I can find. We're going to be sharing chaotically on my socials. Anything that they post, I will be sharing.
Yeah.
But you're all going to be following their socials as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to
The
update.
socials are fun, man. We have, I want to toss out Stephen Fuller with Fuller Creative that does we've got some really, really fun content. So follow us. Sometimes it's just wacky. Sometimes it hit a button to buy a ticket, but we try to really mix it up with classic horror movies and some animation. And it's worth watching the ride as we get ready to prepare for October show.
Our gears are always going, and we, just walking around here today, I said to him this, I said to him that, he said this, that. We're going to have some cool shit coming up too.
I believe
We're going to have some kind of promotion, I think, for the Cleveland show that's going to really make it interesting to come, like a sweepstake, a grand prize, something. We're going to figure out something. I really want people to walk away with a memorabilia for the show.
Yeah, and for those people that like sideshow and freaky Halloween stuff, there may be a press release in the future, but part of Jim Rowe Circus Show, some of the founders may be coming back for our presentation, which will be really freaky. I promise you. I'm going to save that for a press release to come after Labor Day, but other than the show, there's going to be some circus, sideshow, freak show elements that will blow your mind.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Bring it all together. Dude, I can't imagine just how much time, effort, fear, nervousness, sickness has gone into this. So
as long as people buy tickets, the sickness goes away.
That's all it takes.
Hey,
When they tell you, hey, we're sold out.
there you go.
We're done.
Let's sell them out, man.
All I need is 1,000 couples.
There you go.
Anybody. And if you're bringing 5 couples, there's 10 people.
There we go.
On my way.
Anything else you want to add? Any other shout outs or anything that you want to put out there?
That's it.
Thank you to
Thank you
everybody
to
at the
my-
convention here. This has been everybody's so welcoming. It's cool as shit.
Yeah, this
Y'all
is-
should come down to Terracom.
Ohio
Yeah, very
Terracon here
cool.
in Strongsville.
Very cool.
Awesome. Everybody watching out there, thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Everybody out here, thank you so much for stopping by, taking time out of your day to listen. I appreciate you all as well. And we will be back a little bit later today with some more panels.